Alrighty, everybody. What is going on? Welcome back to the Journeyman Sports Podcast. Getting in this little late night recording after the Saturday games for Week 15 in the NFL. Had three games today. We're going to start it off with the Colts versus the Vikings, which was, there's a lot of words to describe it. Embarrassing, surprising, record-breaking. There's a lot of words. Just quickly touch on this game. So, Indianapolis Colts, they blow the biggest lead in NFL history, postseason, regular season, whatever you want to say. Is Matt Ryan strikes again for the Colts. They're up 33-0 at halftime. They're dominating in all facets of the game: offense, defense, special teams. It looked really good for the Colts. That looked like the team that they had, I don't want to say promised they would be, but the team that a lot of people had expected them to look like this year. And Jeff Saturday was coaching very well, aggressive, trick plays, getting everyone involved on offense. Defense was clamping it. Justin Jefferson, I think, only had two or three catches in the first half. He was kept in check. Dalvin Cook was kept in check. Kirk Cousins did not look good. The Colts were on a roll to start that game. And then second half happened and they get outscored 39-3. And it happens again for them. It's the same thing we saw at Dallas. I don't even honestly know what to say. The Colts defense gets conservative, the offense gets conservative. They start playing not to lose. And that's not how you should be playing. If you're playing to win. And I don't want to hear from any Colts fans, this is a good thing. This is furthering the tank. We're going to get an even better draft pick because of this. That is a bunch of baloney. You were watching this first half and thinking, oh my God, there's still maybe a chance for this team. And then you switch it up at the end, probably mentally, trying to make it feel better for yourself. And it's just embarrassing for the Colts. Honestly, I think you got to blow this whole thing up. You got to get rid of Saturday, obviously. Matt Ryan, send him to a assisted living home. Do whatever you got to do, but just embrace it. Just kind of blow it up if I'm the Colts. The Vikings, it's an interesting game for them too. They come in, they get another 10-0 now in one-score games. Really, really interesting. Just not sure how comfortable I feel with calling the Vikings a true contender. They've shown they can get it done in a lot of ways, yes, but it is a problem when you're in all these close games against not as good teams. And the playoffs, if you have that bad of a half, you're done. All the teams are just as good, maybe slightly worse, slightly better than you. So you can't really afford these super slow, awful starts anymore at this point in the season if you want to make a serious push. But, they do come out, get the win. Kirk Cousins throws for about 400 some yards in the second half. KJ Osborne, I think that's his name. No, I don't know. Something Osborne, number 17. He really stepped up today. He looked like a very good playmaker. Dalvin Cook showed he still got it. And Vikings clinched the North. That second half is everything you'd want to see from them. That's more of the team that we'd expected. And this is just such a weird kind of once in a lifetime sort of game. Don't really think I've ever seen anything quite like that. And, if you were watching the game like I was, it just seemed like even from, my dad even kept saying it like, we've seen it like this whole year and it's not even safe at 33-0. And sadly enough, we were right. And it's just completely mind blowing. And if you're a Colts fan, I hope you're embarrassed because I live in Indy and I have secondhand embarrassment for all of you guys. So yeah, next up we had the 4:30 game, which was the Ravens traveling to Cleveland to play the Browns. No Lamar again for the Ravens, and it shows. It shows this is a different team without him. Saw a couple memes on Instagram and Twitter saying Ravens fans, can we have Lamar Jackson? We have Lamar Jackson at home. It's Tyler Huntley. He's not the same. He's not even close. And this game really poses the question to me of how much more money can Lamar leverage out of this situation? The Ravens, they need him. We've seen that year after year, especially these last two. But with Tyler Huntley in, you need more weapons. With Lamar, he can make up for that lack of weapons because he is the system. Lamar is the Ravens' offensive system. We know that. And there's just no way to truly prepare for him. But Tyler Huntley's not the same. Might be the same sort of play style, but he is not Lamar Jackson by any stretch of the imagination. And J.K. Dobbins looks solid, but it's just you can tell the injuries are already wearing on him. To me, he doesn't look as quick, as fast, in and out of his cuts. Doesn't have the breakaway speed. And Justin Tucker uncharacteristically misses 2 kicks today. That hasn't happened since 2018. But for me, focus on the positives of this game, which the Browns seem to be playing better. They're still the offense is not quite performing up to what you would want, but to me, Deshaun Watson looks more and more comfortable every week in this offense. Had 161 passing for a touchdown and then 6 rushes for 22 yards. I think he's starting to look more and more comfortable in that offense. Still not getting a lot of pull from the running game yet, but what I do like to see, Donovan Peoples-Jones, he had a touchdown today. On that touchdown drive, that was the best I've seen the Browns look in a while. Looked composed, looked like they knew what they were doing. Amari Cooper had a couple big catches, which me and Kate have talked about several times on here, how big Amari Cooper is to that offense. And with DPJ, if he keeps playing the way that he is, I mean, he's looking at good money, and then I think he could be a really solid 2 here. And I think ideally he's a great number 3. He's exactly what you want. But I think he's shown that he can step up and be a solid number 2 receiver. And if you're a Browns fan, that's got to excite you with his potential. So, it's going to be really interesting to see the Browns, how they finish. Most likely not going to make the playoffs. I mean, they have an outsider's chance, but this win especially is really big for the Bengals. They can take a half-game lead, I believe, in the division. And if Lamar is out another week, they've got a potential to maybe clinch it. Who knows? But it'll be interesting to watch the Ravens and the Bengals especially. Maybe the Browns can try and sneak in there. The Jets are kind of falling off. The Chargers are going to be really the team to watch if the Browns were going to try and sneak in. So who knows? Browns are starting to look better, more comfortable. And I think it's starting to become a better, well-oiled machine like we thought it would be. And yeah, they end up getting a home win, a game that ends with some snow, 13-3. For the nightcap, one of the better games, and a great rematch to the game earlier in the season, the Dolphins traveled to play the Bills. The Bills win this one on a last-second field goal on a field that was flooded with snow. Crazy game. Snowballs being thrown from the crowd. There was a penalty called on the crowd for throwing snowballs. And people were getting kicked out for it. I mean, it is, sounds like a loser thing to say for me, but it is dangerous at the end of the day, potentially. The snowballs can have ice in them. Never know, get in players' eyes, all that stuff. Just the overall player safety is the main concern there. But the Bills clinched AFC East with this win. They're going to the playoffs for the 4th year in a row, and they looked pretty solid tonight. Still don't think they're the team to beat in the AFC. I still think that's the Bengals. But Josh Allen really stepped up for them tonight, and he showed exactly why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Trying to pull up his stats real quick. Yeah, they win 32-29. Josh Allen goes 25 of 40 for 304 and 4 touchdowns, and then adds on another 10 carries for 77 yards on the ground. So this is exactly what you want to see if you're a Bills fan. Take care of business at home against a really good Dolphins team that I still think has a good shot to contend in the AFC. But I really liked what I saw out of Dawson Knox. He had 6 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. He looked really good tonight. Naheem Hines finally got involved, getting a touchdown. He still seems like one of the most underutilized players in the league to me. I know being in India, I watched him a lot as a Colt. That dude has the most, I think maybe the most underrated speed and just athleticism in the league. In an offense like the Bills, I really thought he was going to get used as sort of the feature back, play some slot receiver. They'd move him around everywhere, and he would just get 15 to 20 touches a game somehow, whether it's receiving, jet sweeps, running, whatever it was. I mean, he's a playmaker, and I still feel like he's being really underutilized on this team, which is sad to me. But I think the Bills going forward, they're in a great spot. They clinched the division. Now, I don't want to say they should take their foot off the gas pedal at all because they're still trying to gun for that 1 seed, but it's going to be interesting to see with the Dolphins. They moved to 8-6. They've got, I think they have the Jets, the Patriots. Can't remember the other team. I think it's a winnable game, but they're going to have to get to 10 wins, I think, to get in. But I think it's more than possible for them. They're riding a 2-game losing streak, but they had a couple opportunities to really put this one away. They had a strip sack on Josh Allen, which only ended up getting a field goal, which made it 29-21 at that point. That was a big miss for them. I thought if they scored a touchdown there, especially with the snow that was starting to accumulate on the field, I thought that game would have been over. So that was definitely a missed opportunity from them. But I thought Miami did a good job of weathering the elements. Saw Tua play better. He kind of got back to looking like himself after a rough game against the Chargers. He went 17 of 30 for 234 and 2 touchdowns. Raheem Mostert had his best game of the season. Jalen Waddle played well too. But yeah, I mean, Miami's gonna have to hope that Raheem Mostert can keep playing well. They had a backup running back, Salvin Ahmad, who came in, had a couple touches. He's got good bursts too. If you're on Miami, it's just a rule of thumb that you're just fast as hell. Like there's just no other way to say it. Like you just got to be fast to play on that team. But I still think Miami gets to 10 wins. I think they're going to find themselves in a playoff spot. And I think the best draw that they could get would be Tennessee, potentially. I think Tennessee just doesn't have the firepower to hang with them. So I still have a lot of hope for Miami going forward. I think they look good in this game in a road divisional matchup in some tough conditions, 20 degrees, a lot of snow at the end. So I'm still really positive on Miami, and Buffalo gets a really good win at home, and they're looking very good coming down the stretch. So that was just my quick little blurb about the Saturday night games. I really like this format of the NFL where you get some games on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It just feels good. A lot of good games today, other than really the 4 o'clock one, which is pretty boring. But yeah, a good start to the week of football so far. Got a couple good games on Sunday. Hopefully, see if the Jaguars can compete against the Cowboys. Maybe pull out a miraculous win and stay in the playoff hunt. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just wanted to get you guys something again to enjoy. Maybe kick back on the Sunday, enjoy the games, listen to the show here, and thank you guys for all the support recently, comments, likes, everything like that. Keep sharing us. I'll make sure to plug the socials in this video. And thank you so much for watching. This has been the Journeyman Sports Podcast, and we will see you next time.